everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gab about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, so please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Nathan Norman, joined, as always, by the co-host with the co-most, Dan, the Big Daddy, Reedy.
Oh, Mr. 9 out of 9 Norman. Nathan 9 out of 9 Norman, should I say.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
You know, you just
So
roll by
the
a
streets.
different alias every week, I seem to see on that tipping board, but
No, it's just that one.
good to see you down in the middle of the pack. Didn't tip so well on the weekend, I suppose.
Didn't do too bad.
Yeah, but
I'm
middle.
fifth.
You were on top for most of the season last year.
Yeah,
But
I'm fifth out of 22.
it's a hot field this year too. We've up to 22 players,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
welcome aboard to some of the newbies. I mean, to have Vossi on and Tommy McCarthy and the likes of, Atomic Shadows. He's a very, very
I'd
good
like to know
tipper.
who Atomic Shadows is.
Well, you'll find out as the season wears on. But
I guess.
yes, there's other Kay Brody. I mean,
K Brownie.
always. Yes.
Yeah. Good old K Brownie. Yeah, she actually got the margin.
Yeah, it's
On
on
the
the
first
first
game.
game, and I
Jesus,
thought we might have a
good.
contender here for the.
Yeah, but
But
then
then
she
eased off as the round. But I went in with the most tips with 3, equal leader with a couple. So
Yeah,
just
you're
like
right,
to.
number one now. Yeah, you're one for now. For now.
Yeah,
well,
you
get
got
excited.
to celebrate while you're up, don't you, Nathan?
You do, and I celebrated very long, but yeah. Alright, next up. God was shooting from half court when he made this man. It's Rick Trip P. Parker.
Well, thank you very much, Nathan. It's always a pleasure to be here today, talking footy, talking a bit of shit, and having a good old laugh about what Daniel Reeve is going to say next.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we never talk shit here.
Do you know what I was going to say next? Was how many tips did you get on the weekend, Rick?
Oh, no.
Mate, I was tipless.
Tipless?
Yeah.
Mr. 0 out of 0.
Well, cheers to that.
I was tipless, so
First one of the
cheers
year.
to that, mate. Where's me cordial? There we go. But
There we go.
I don't like this opening round bullshit.
No, well, look, it is just 4 matches. Like, it's not hard to get 0. Like,
No.
If you got
like,
0 out of
can't
9,
be
that's
back in
different.
the half format. Like if you want to showcase the northern states, to the game, bring every team up there. Do it like they've done the gather round, because people don't want to just watch their team, not watch their teams, should I say, and then watch other teams play. So.
Well, unfortunately, I think it was a success, so I think it might not deter them in the future.
I don't think it was a success.
SCG was sold out,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
The games were big, yeah.
Mate, they said the Gold Coast game was sold out and the whole top tier was closed.
Well, they weren't
Didn't
selling
look-
those seats. It was sold out to the seats that they were selling. All right. Yeah, well.
sold
Yeah.
out.
I think I
But
have.
SCG, that's a big deal.
I think I have the conclusion. I just sent. I was sitting there one night and it came to me. I just sort of thought, why don't I work in the AFL really? But
Why don't you?
look, they don't have a department
No,
that
they
they
don't.
want to roll that would fit my title.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
no,
just
fair
that
enough.
they don't have a job for me at the moment. But
Oh, that makes sense.
the way I see it is they should split the first round in half and play it over 2 weeks, and you should play some derbies in the opening round. So have the Q Clash, have the Sydney Derby, have the Adelaide Showdown, and have the Perth one. Have them all on the opening round, and maybe have one extra game, and then make it part of round 1. The next week you finish off round 1. Split round 1 into 2 weeks. At least it's easy to follow, and everyone knows what's happening, and you put your games still out in the interstate games, and then the following week you have all your Victorian sides play each other in a bit of a. So I don't know. There's many ideas that get floated around, but I enjoyed that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Thought
right.
I was pretty smart when I came up with it.
Well, look, to me, I just don't care what they do. Like, they
Yeah,
can do whatever.
yeah.
As long as they're playing the same amount of games, right?
It's a bit off-putting
Like,
though. The opening
yeah,
round.
I can see that.
Now we've got to have
I don't
buys with certain teams across the next 6 weeks, and Yeah, but anyway, well, it's not a huge deal, is it, Nathan, in your eyes?
Well, personally, I'm probably the only person who just does not care. A lot of people do hate the opening round, though, and I'm hearing a lot about it on the streets.
Get every team playing. Like, what happened to those big teams like Carlton, Collingwood, or?
Well, they'll be playing this week, mate. Don't you worry about that. It's all going to heat up.
Yeah, you get
They
those.
played last week,
You
too.
get those big blockbuster games to start the year off. You know, if you're going to do an opening round, do it properly. Get those big teams playing.
You're just a traditionalist, mate.
Can't lie. I did like the Brisbane
There's nothing
Carlton
wrong
game,
with being
the
a
GWS
traditionalist,
Collingwood
buddy.
game. That was good
Nothing wrong
matchups.
with being a traditionalist.
Melbourne Sydney was all right matchup. Yeah. Look, we'll get into this week's.
Hey, it was
games.
good.
We'll get
I
into
enjoyed
this
the
games.
footy. It was
Yeah, I
bloody.
reckon it was good.
I think
It's good to see it back.
I think they
Disappointed
lucked
myself.
out because you know, if it wasn't for where the teams currently are placed in their building programs, you know, and they turned out to be good games. But you know, next year it might not be the same.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
yeah.
Maybe not. But look, we'll talk about this week's games shortly, one by one. So for now, we're going to go to our ladder predictions. Ready?
Oh, our ladder predictions
Says
straight
you
up,
had
are we?
your, yeah, it's topic of the show.
Right.
I know.
Yes, yes.
So I want you to give me your bottom 10. Fire them out real quick.
Well, I'm just going to have to journey into my ladders for a sec, because I had a couple of different ones that I was toying around, so
Jesus, he's taking this serious.
I was actually settled into one just before, so it was my third one.
Yeah.
So, alright, so, yes. Are we doing the whole ladder?
No, do you give us your bottom 10?
Bottom
so
first.
outside of the top 8, give it from bottom up.
Alright, so, for the spoon this year, I am tipping Richmond Football Club. Yes. It's been a long sought after process going through it, and I don't say it lightly, but I just see them falling a bit this year, and
Yeah, well, let's fire through these ones because we really care about
No,
them,
that's a
and those
bit-
are the
that's
ones
big.
Talk about. We'll
That-
talk broadly about the bottom 10 once
Ah.
we all give our bottom 10s out.
and then we move on from there quickly, and we'll get down to Freo. Just really going to bottom out this year, with then West Coast above them, and then Melbourne.
What?
Got them really down the gurgler.
You do.
Yeah, so Melbourne just fallen out of the perch this year.
But that's more than just the perch. That's like, fuck, that's
Yeah.
plummeting.
And then I'm going to have North Melbourne.
Jeez, you think North are going to be above us?
Yeah. I'm going to then have Geelong. Just see them missing out this year, and by the time it doesn't hang on for the season, it won't be easy for them to win a lot of games, so might be back to the building blocks.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Freo and the Doggies.
Rounding out the bottom 10.
Yes.
Well, there you go. He's got the Doggies in there.
And
Doggies
so-
D's not making it.
And then there's one more team, Gold Coast.
Well, coming in at number 9.
Yeah. No, just missing out on the 8.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's put both our teams in the missing finals football, Rick, and I'm not too happy about that. I don't know about you.
We'll get there. You know, every arsehole has an opinion.
It's a tough
It's
ladder
true,
this year.
it's
It's a
true.
tough top 8. I mean,
You've made it tough.
should I get into my top 8 or?
No, well, I'll go with my bottom 10,
Alright.
and then Rick will go with your bottom 10, and then we'll go with the top 8s. So I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
West Coast
I'm
still.
pretty sure that my one will be a lot different to all of yours.
Oh, I think all of ours will be different to each other's for sure. So I've got West Coast taking the spoon again, just a rabble, and I don't think the off season was enough to turn it around, and I don't think this season will be enough to either. Then Richmond at number 17. So your wooden spooners coming in, just number second from the bottom for me. So I'm not rating them at all. Then North. I just don't think they'll rise, but they could. They could absolutely. They've got some good talent. Fremantle, then Essendon at 14, Hawthorn at 13, Doggies at 12, St Kilda at 11, Adelaide at 10, and Carlton at 9, just missing the 8. So yeah.
Wow, some big calls right there.
Yeah, well,
Carlton just missing.
anything can happen, you know.
Carlton fans out there won't be happy with that.
Nobody saw Geelong not making the 8. Nobody saw whoever Port making the 8. Like all these things came out of nowhere. So it's all havoc. It's
Oh.
anarchy. Unpredictable.
Well,
But yeah. Rick, your bottom 10.
well, so starting off with the wooden spoonies,
Yeah.
I'm going to say Freo.
Jeez, we've all got them down there this year.
We go, well, we don't really rate Freo. It's just how it is.
What a big year in the West.
What a bad...
Oh, no,
bad
it's a
representation.
big year. It's a very big year for Longmuir because they've got, aspiration of having a flag by next year,
Yeah.
and that will be his 5th year in charge. So they're going to do something this year, but look, I don't think they're going to do much. I think they're shot. So I reckon they'll finish 18th. Yeah, and then mate, West Coast, they're crosstown rivals, coming in 17th.
Yep.
Which is, for the state of WA, probably a
Sad
bad
days.
year of football. But
Yeah,
with
tough
Harley
time
Reid
in
coming
WA.
through, mate, West Coast could probably finish a couple higher. 16th, I've got Essendon. I don't rate them at all, Essendon. They've done bugger all over the off-season. North is 15th,
Mm.
followed by Richmond, Hawthorn, Gold Coast. Gold Coast could probably finish anywhere between 12th and 9th, but I've got them finishing it. I've got them finishing at 12th. So
Yeah.
and the same can happen for these last 3 teams as well. But I've got in 11th I've got Melbourne, 10th I've got the Cats, and then at 9th I've got Port Adelaide.
Oh,
Damn, you've
wow.
all written off Melbourne, and I don't know how I feel about it. Don't know how I feel about
That's
Oh,
the coaching staff,
well,
mate.
it. I'm a bit annoyed.
Mate, look at the way that Grundy just towed up Gorn on the weekend. So
To be fair, like, they were training partners for the longest time, so they know each other pretty well.
yeah, well, he's just shown the whole competition, the blueprint to take Gorn out.
Yeah,
so
well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, we'll talk about this week's games a bit later. All right, Raby, give us your top 8. Starting from the bottom.
Alright, sneaking into the 8 this year, I've got Adelaide. I think they get into 8th. I've got Port, just one above them in 7th. I've got the Saints going into 6th. I've got Carlton rounding out. So it's,
I
it's
can't believe it.
sort of not a bad bottom 4 of the 8, I believe. And
The
then
States have got to be like 8 spots above Melbourne.
really juggled these 4 teams. I mean, it feels predictable saying, and I almost had Carlton making the 4, but I just couldn't put them in there. So I've got, in no particular order for now, I've got the Giants and Sydney as my top 2. And
You need to put them in order. Like,
and-
locking in that louder
Yeah.
predictions. Do it in order.
you have to put them in order.
so the
Point.
Giants and then Sydney as my top 2.
Yeah, yeah.
1, 2. And then Brisbane and then Collingwood.
So Brisbane 3rd, Collingwood 4th.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
From the bottom up, I'll try it this time. Coming in at 8th, just squeezing by Melbourne. Coming in at 7, Geelong. 6, Port. 5, Gold Coast. 4, Brizzy. 3, Collingwood. 2nd, GWS. And number 1, Sydney.
So we got the same top 2.
Sydney. Jeez, both of you guys have rated Sydney really high this year.
I saw how they played this week.
Did you notice how I changed mine from what was on the paper?
No. Because I will not be going by your paper, I will be going by what you said.
Yeah, I know. I just because I'd read it down and then I changed 1 or 2 at the last.
But yeah, I just think Melbourne just
In 8th.
squeezing. I feel it's having a bit of a fall from grace. I hope not. I hope we rack up a bunch of wins. I'm sure we still will.
I hope you do.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Like, this is my ladder predictions. It's not how I want it to go, of course. Or else we'll all be putting our own teams up top. So, Rick, with that, your top 8, and you put Doggy's number 1.
Here we
I'll be
go.
disappointed.
Well, in 8th spot, just rounding in the 8th, I've got the Saints.
Hey.
I've got the Saints finishing
Always good making it.
Saints are the worst.
Coming in at 7th, Adelaide. 6th, I've got Sydney. 5th, I've got Brisbane. And then so to the top 4. So I've got GWS finishing 1st, Carlton 2nd, Collingwood 3rd, Doggies 4th.
Oh, the
four.
doggies in the 4. So you have
Okay,
found a way to
same,
say doggies
same.
last. That was good.
Mate, you always got to find a way, don't you?
That's
Always
it.
a workaround, isn't there?
Oh,
Nothing's
so the
ever simple.
doggies in the 4.
But in saying that though, like our top 8's like apart from a couple of teams, we all have GWS. Apart from you, Nathan, we you know, me and you, we got Carlton. You know, Collingwood's in there in all the lists. Brisbane's still in there. Sydney,
Yeah.
Adelaide. Like there's a few teams we've
That are showing
all
up.
put in there. So
And they could, any one of them could fall apart as well. Like, look what happened to Geelong
yeah,
last
absolutely,
year. Jesus, like, anything can happen.
absolutely.
Like, you guys are all expecting
you-
Melbourne to fall off the face of the earth. Like,
Well,
we
you
did
look at
come
the
like
Cats
fourth.
from last year. You know, the Cats did. You know, they had a major fall from grace last year. You know, finished outside the eight. You know,
Yeah.
you know, they were premiership hangover or whatever you want to call it. Will that happen to Collingwood? Look at the way they played.
Yeah, yeah. But I do think we're all coming in not rating Melbourne at all this year, and it hurts. It hurts. We all think they're going to drop.
Where did you have them
And
finishing, Nate?
drastically. I had them 8th, and that's the highest. They were top
You
4
had them
last
8th.
year. Like,
Yeah, you know they've had a tumultuous off season. You know what I mean?
yeah, we got a good deal. You know, Clayton Oliver's doing all right.
Clayton Oliver's
He's
off
back.
to, Geelong next year, mate.
That'd be a nice fit.
Big news out today is that Clayton Oliver's off to Geelong next year. So
Be a
You know,
good fit down there.
all the
wouldn't
Well,
it?
you know, if you make things up, you can get anything right.
Mate, heard it here first.
oh well, you know they wouldn't be reporting it if there wasn't a speckle of truth to it. So watch that space.
These rumours come out all the time. I'm not worried.
Trade talk, mate. Trade talk.
We've stood by him, and we're not going to be trading him off for pittance or anything. So
Yeah, we'll just wait and see next year.
I think you probably would because you
I
know
don't know.
from all reports out there, you know, there's a bad rap he's starting to rack up, and the quicker you can offload someone like that,
Yeah, he's come out. He's put up 30 disposals this week. He's looking good with the boys.
It's good.
You know, it's not. It doesn't look
he's
like there's
looking
any
good for the
set.
boys. And
You know, some people wanna create these things, create these dramas that aren't happening in real life.
We'll just see where he is next year, and we'll move on.
Yeah, all because he had a complex hammy.
It was very
hey,
complex.
I'm just telling you.
It's
I'm
very
just telling you
complicated.
what's been reported in the rags, mate. So you know, settle your pedal down and.
My pedal is settled.
Yeah.
He has a
What
complex
the fuck?
hammy.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm hoping he sticks by us because, you know, we have put him through, we have supported him throughout his complex hammy. Alright, well, for the first time in round 2024, we're going to go to last week's games.
yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Opening round, the opening game at the SCG Thursday night. It was Sydney versus Melbourne. Sydney 12-14-86. Melbourne 9-10-64. Sydney by 22 points. KB Brownie called it in the tips. Reevy.
Wow. Yes. KB Brown did definitely get the margin of 22 points, was it, in the end?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nailed it. Just,
It's a pretty good effort. It's a very good effort. Well done. Well
Yeah, a
done.
little clap.
if they got 4 out of 4 as well, I would have been like, nah, this person's a witch.
But more importantly, I mean, Sydney, didn't they just rock up to play? I mean, Melbourne, honestly, if they had have kicked straight early in the game, it would probably would have been a different game. But I think Sydney were always there and would have stayed in the game. And, you know, they really probably pinched a game that the Melbourne almost handed to them because you just missed goals, didn't play out the whole 4 quarters, and it cost you 4 points.
Hey,
So
we had a good third quarter.
you did. You chipped in. You
Yeah,
played
better.
really hot
Fourth
footy
quarter.
early, And
Just couldn't convert.
yeah, just
One goal late. You kidding me?
it was like watching a car crash for a little bits and pieces. It was straight back to it, wasn't it? You went, here we go again. We're watching the D's, and it was,
And then we kicked 5 goals straight in the third quarter.
and it was up and
that's it.
about.
5 goals straight, and then they kicked like 8 behinds in that quarter as well. And it's like, well,
In the third quarter, yeah.
It was a real welcome
That's
back to
insane.
footy, wasn't it? And I bet
it
ya,
was a slap in the face to Melbourne supporters everywhere.
I bet ya, the people out there that were the happiest were the Richmond and the Carlton supporters, because normally it's their team going through that in the first round, and it's stressful. So now all that's happened, every other team could settle in a bit more, and I feel like it was just that juice flowing, wasn't it, in that game? It was a
Well, the
real
juice
tough to
was
settle. It was first game of the year. Everyone was just bouncing, and
But
yeah,
no, look,
Man,
that was
I-
good footy all round.
it was.
I love the pre-game, like watching the Sydney players just walking through from their training hub, which is next to the SCG there, through the crowd. You know, getting the crowd amongst it right before the start of the game. I thought that was quite impressive.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, on an opening round game like that, where you sort of have to, you know, you are the first game, so you're the big show. You got to put it on, and
Allegedly sold out.
to Sydney's credit, you know, and they're celebrating, what is it, 100 years or 150 years of the footy club. You know, Sydney, South Melbourne.
Get
So,
around them.
you know, a lot to play for. And they came out and they showed that they were going to be final contenders this year, I reckon, by especially Grundy showing the rest of the competition on how to play Gorn.
You nailed it with
And
Grundy.
Just played like he had something to prove.
Mate,
Just
but
eating
like
Gorn's
Isaac
lunch.
Heaney.
Heaney was,
Isaac Heaney.
oh,
He was my
Yeah,
player of the
20
night.
I hated seeing him.
26 touches, but just what he did with the ball, like
Those
you
contested
just like
possessions.
anytime he had the ball in his hand, you knew that something good was going to come out of it. So
Oh,
He had-
if it was going
Yeah.
near him, I was worried. It was like, oof, Jesus, it's fucking 80. Can't stop him.
They've decided to
Yeah.
put him in the middle a bit more this year, and I think the way that he uses the ball, why not get him up in the middle a bit more? And really
Well,
paid
his
dividends
heat map-
from the first game. He
on
had
his
12.
heat map, it was all through the middle. Everything was all through the middle.
He had
half
12
forward.
score involvements to go with it. I mean, you can't keep him quiet. So, yeah, good move by the horse. He must have been sitting in the paddocks over the off-season, just having a good ponder, having a good chew on a
Oh, he
little
was
straw of grass, and he thought, oh, might get Isaac Heaney in the midfield this year. And then he went
The
back
spring
and he
carnival's
told
happening
the
right,
coaching staff. He galloped over
Yeah.
and he went,
Fair enough.
and they knew what he said. No.
Well,
Good coach, the horse.
but just need to touch on Bailey Fritsch as well. Kicked 4 goals, 1. But by that first half, if I was the coach, I would have dragged him. He had nothing. He was just missing. He was ineffective, missing every mark, losing every contest. It was like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
He's not my
And then
favourite
for
footballer.
in the second half, just bag 4 goals to be. It seems so like, oh look, I kicked 4 goals. It's like, yeah, but
We didn't win.
where were you in that first half, mate? You had a number of goals on a silver platter to you.
I'm with you.
Anyway,
But
He
as a
doesn't
key
sell you.
forward, that's what you're supposed to do. Like the last
kick
quarter,
goals.
he only had 1 kick. You know, what I mean? One disposal for the whole quarter.
Yeah.
But play like that can carve his way out of anything and kick a bag of goals.
Still kicks the goals, doesn't
anytime
he?
If you let him. So
Yeah, but how much?
still kicking 4 goals, mate. He still kicked 4 goals, 1, mate.
Yeah, I know.
You know, what do you
but
mean?
it doesn't
Why?
excuse the rest of his
4
game.
goals, 1.
Mate,
It
I
doesn't
could kick
excuse
4 goals,
the
1.
atrocious football he was playing in that first half. Does not excuse it.
The brand of footy
I
they
know
play
you're
these
watching.
days,
Oh.
I could kick 4 goals, 1.
Get out of it. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those handballs over the
Turn
top
up
and a
for
few
all
of the
4
kicks from the
quarters.
goal square. And
Turn up for all 4 quarters. He could have walked away with 8 goals.
he could. Maybe one week this year he will.
Oh, look, it'll be good.
Let's see. Will
Great
Bailey
third
Fritsch...
quarter and got-
I don't think so. I think Melbourne's
He
curse
kicked
of
3
missing
in
too
the
many.
third quarter and got you
Yeah.
back into the game a little bit. Gave you guys a little bit of respect and about
Yeah, and
your game.
you're glossing
Well,
over
you
the
can
first
play
half
for
where he had numerous misses right in front just splayed it, just stupid decisions, just dropping marks. Like you're clearly not remembering the first half, how he played. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah,
I think
There's no
I think
like
when
second half.
I think when you're the
fair, it was
leading
great.
goal kicker on the ground
Yeah, no,
with 4 goals, that you're a key forward. You've done your job.
no, he could have
Was
done
there
a way better
pressure
job.
apps?
That's why Melbourne
was he under pressure when
not
he's
going to
dropping
make
those
the 8
marks?
this
Like,
year.
mm,
That's
Yeah.
why Melbourne aren't
Yeah.
making the 8 because that's where they're at.
Because some people
Yeah.
are happy with like that performance because he just happened to kick.
Yeah,
four.
he kicked 4,
and
but
the
they didn't
fans
do
are a
much.
bunch of whingers.
Like I said, I could kick 4 in this day and age of footy, so you know,
I'm
4
just
is
not.
4.
I'm just not getting half my own supply. Fritsch is not that good. That's it.
Who
It's
played
just
the
not-
next game? Was there another game this in
But yeah,
opening
anyway,
round, or-
before-
Hey,
move on to the
who
next-
kicked 5 goals in your only grand final in the
Who?
last decade?
Anyway,
So
move-
pretty
oh,
much
you mean the
set
game where
whole
we
game
kicked
up
like
for you.
30 goals? Yeah, no, that's right.
Ray Carr. Was it Ray Carr?
Anyway, moving on.
Maybe
I
we
just
should-
wanted to bring up before we move on the collision. Justin McKinney with Bowie.
Yeah, it's a sickening.
Breaking Bowie's collarbone. He's out for at least 8
Poor
weeks,
fella, too.
apparently. So.
And he was my line in the sand
He
player.
was. You were talking him up last week.
See, I've
so
already
I'm sure.
mozzed Melbourne hard enough that I brought him down, so bring it on, Dees.
There's nothing in it, mate. Nothing in it. He's just a smaller body. You just got to build it on.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it was a collision. I'm not talking badly about Justin McKinney. It was what it was. And,
We'll see how Bowie goes for the next 8 weeks, see where the D's get.
Yeah, well, it's just sad days. But thankfully
Poor
he
fella,
is young
though.
enough to
Yeah.
bounce back.
He
He's
will.
he's
He'll
under
come back.
21, so, he'll be fine, I'm sure. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game. It was Friday night football at the Gabba. It was Brisbane versus Carlton. Brisbane 12-13-85. Carlton 13-8-86. Carlton by 1 point.
Da,
In a
da,
barn
da,
burner, Daniel.
Da, 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 da. Jesus, how was the Blue Boys? I mean,
Yeah, well, it was a
Oh.
fantastic comeback. I liked it.
honestly didn't think it was possible. I
Yeah,
even
it was
recall,
Yeah,
I recall going to the kitchen at half time and saying, well, this game's over.
yeah.
And just going, there's no way they'll come back. Brizzy will kick another 6 to 8 goals at least.
It was 9 goals won in the second quarter.
Brizzy kicked one. Well, Brizzy only kicked 1 goal for the rest of the game after that, didn't they? Or was it 2?
No. After half time, they kicked 3.
3, yes, because I was watching and I definitely didn't see many go through. And wow, good! What a comeback for Carlton. I mean, their
Yeah,
They
morale,
kicked a lot of behinds though.
their morale at
Shit
the
load of
moment
behinds.
is just going to be huge. I mean, all they need to do is start the year well, get into this season, and they're going to be a juggernaut.
Yeah.
And they couldn't afford to drop too many early games, and just to have that one in the bank, which they mightn't have penciled in early in the year, maybe as a loss. So I reckon they've pinched one there, and that could really set them up for the year.
Yeah.
If they're going to be desperate, you really want to get off to a flyer and be a contender.
You do.
And yeah, that scares me, that. So watch out down Lygon Street the next few weeks.
Yeah, well, Carlton up and down all over the place. I didn't expect them to get close to Brisbane, but
They're going to be good all year.
I don't
They are.
expect them to be up in the upper echelon. Of
They're going to be
games or
tough
anything
to.
like that.
They're going to be tough to play. They're
Yeah,
not going to. They
potentially.
might lose some games, but they're going to be tough to play all year. They
I reckon
really are.
they'll do the classic drop some games that they should win.
Once it all heats up, that's a
Number
different.
of games they will drop that they should win. I reckon that. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, call it now. No takesy backsies.
No takesy backsies.
But no, it was impressive from Carlton. I mean, their mids, once they got going into the game,
Their mids were mid.
and really bad
George
news.
Stewart.
Bad news for
George
the Doc
Stewart
as well.
Did some really good stuff along the outside wing there.
Oh,
Like,
Huey.
anytime the ball was up around the centre wing, there's George Stewart just
Yeah.
with the pill in his bloody hand. You know what? First of all, I never even knew who this kid was.
Huey?
A
Came
couple
from
of weeks
Sydney.
ago, and
no.
just to see him flourishing in a new role, like after I've read up about him and
Mate, he listens to the pod.
Does he?
Yeah, Huey.
Oh,
well,
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, sorry,
Sure,
Huey,
what?
but I never knew who you were until the other night. But you know,
Rick
props
was
to you.
unfamiliar with your game.
Nah, he's a good fella, Huey. He won't mind. He'll have a chuckle
Oh
over
well, you know, like there's that many players out there. Sometimes they
Yeah.
just fall through the cracks. But you know, and he complimented his boys, Paddy Cripps and Sarah and Akers as well. But at the end of the day, you do have to touch on Doherty and his knee.
Oh, no,
What's that,
right.
his-
Poor
That
fella.
was real bad. Ooh.
Poor fella. Like you feel for a bloke in that instance because it's probably career ending for him,
Wow.
especially
No.
late in his
No.
career.
Possibly.
Nah, he'll get back. He'll get back.
Time will tell.
Not from 4, man.
Nah, I reckon they sound like he's, not to say he's decided, but that he's pretty positive
If he
about
wants-
his future still.
If he wants to ever walk again, and play footy with kick around the back with his kids or anything like that, the advice would be not to do it again because your body can't handle that many complete knee reconstructions. So
Yeah.
we'll see. There's only so many spots they can screw it to you. So
Oh, they can screw it in many spots, don't you reckon, baby?
Well, look, we prefer not to talk about those sort of things, we'll just move forward. How big was Harry Mackay? Especially late in the
kicked
game.
3 goals.
Yeah, but late in the
Kicked 3
game.
goals.
Late in the
Kerno
game.
kicked 4.
Can I
He-
keep forward?
he
Kerno
con-
kicked 4.
Man, he conquered
You
his
know,
ships,
you Mate, the bloke's been a spud for the last year. Yeah, he won a Coleman 2 years ago, but he was a spud last year. He had the yips.
No, it's just good to
people
see him
thinking
kick a
he's
few
kicked
straight
3
ones.
goals. He's kicked 3 goals and everyone's bloody up and about.
Oh, Mr.
settle
Negator.
down.
I was just saying.
Take a chill pill. Let's see how he goes next week.
Yeah, the
Week
jury's
after
still
that,
out.
You know what I mean?
I'm with Parker, and that kills me to say that. But I'm with Parker. Everybody needs to take a chill pill.
I think people would like to build the hype train up a bit too much, especially
Absolutely.
Carlton supporters.
He kicked a couple of key goals at the end, right? Got him over the line.
Kerno kicked
so it was-
4. Why not? Why don't you celebrate if
Kerno's
Kerno
meant to kick
kicked
4. He
those
always
4,
kicks 4.
Anyone
He would
could
never
kick
have
4 in today's footy. I could kick 4, Rick.
Bullshit, you could, mate.
What's
Yeah, I'm
your
with Rick on that one.
what's your-
Bullshit, you could.
What's your most goals in a game of footy, Rick? In a single day of footy?
12. Remember that day? 12. Jeez.
Me?
Insane. Yeah.
3 goals I've kicked in one game. Yeah, but I never played as a forward. I was always a midfielder.
Nathan?
I think 3.
3 as well. Shit.
But I'm counting primary school football when I played this.
I did also a couple of years ago kick 1 goal 3.
Oh, so you could have kicked 4.
3 were from set shots and I missed them all, and then the goal I actually scored was probably the hardest, as a snap around the body from about 45. And
As you do.
Went through. I was like, how does that one go through? But yeah, it's not about me. It's
It's a team
it's
game.
about the footy.
It's a team game.
It's
Footy.
about it's about the hype train though. What I'm trying to say is people are quickly building him up to be something, and then you watch if he kicks nothing next week,
Which can
he's
happen.
going to get booed off the park.
Who? Harry?
You know what I mean?
Powerful. Yeah, and
Yeah,
Carlton
so,
fans are fickle.
No, I reckon he'll
That's
kick
what I'm
6.
That's what I'm just saying. Just calm
6
down.
next week for Harry.
Yeah, no, calm down. Carlton fans are fickle.
No, they're playing Richmond.
You know what? If he does it 3 weeks in a row, let's say he's back. Yeah, we'll
Alright.
give him a round of applause. We'll get around him.
And then he'll have an off
buy him a
week.
beer. We'll buy him a beer at his local pub, and we'll say, there you go, well done, mate. But get to the 3 weeks first before we start building that hype train.
Yeah, baby. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game. Saturday
I'll be back in a
football
sec.
at your People First Stadium. Did they change the name of this? I've totally been out of the loop on this.
Gold Coast.
Yeah, Yagumba? That's probably wrong. I
That's the
apologise.
tribal name they have for each ground, but that's still
People First Stadium?
the ground up there was called Metricon Stadium.
Yeah, that's the one, but they call it People First Stadium. I don't know. Did
Well,
they
that's
change
that's the land name they have for every
it? I
ground.
think land name is Yagumba.
And then People First Stadium.
People First Stadium is a separate one.
I'm sure our fans in the Gold Coast could maybe write in,
Maybe we have one, so it'd be good.
send a
Good to
letter
know.
via post,
Hey, just comment underneath this YouTube video.
and let us
Because
know.
That is how. Yeah.
But Can we get
That's
on to the
happens.
game?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting
Waiting
for you
for...
to stop talking. Alright, Gold Coast versus Richmond. It was Gold Coast 14-15-99 by Richmond 9-6-60. It was Gold Coast by 39 points. And you wouldn't believe it, Gold Coast Suns top of the ladder.
Didn't notice that. No one let us know that on the page during the week, did they?
No, I don't know. I
No,
don't pay
definitely
attention.
didn't see any updates about that. But, well, so the Gold Coast, to me, so you don't want to throw to Rick and let him do this one?
Well, Rick's not here.
Oh,
He's
okay,
off.
right. No, I'll do it because it's meant to be Rick's game. But,
Yeah,
Um,
well,
oh, jeez.
I was
How,
thinking-
again with the ebb and flow in the game, where we had the Gold Coast come out and just put Richmond to the sword, getting up, a fair margin at one point by about 8-9 goals. And then Richmond moseying their way back in to within 3 goals. But, yes, the Gold Coast managed to really hold them off. And, geez, how was Matty Rao? Do you reckon he brought his towel?
No.
No, didn't bring his
No,
towel.
he was towelless.
Towelless, mate.
And that's kicked him into another gear.
He had that much footy that he wouldn't have known whether Sammy was sitting there or Rick was sitting there.
Get out of it, Sammy.
Matty Rao was just all over it. He sat there in the middle all day getting his first hands on it, distributing it out, and honestly, he was half the reason why they won so easily. Because, first disposal of the ball is key, isn't it? And
Well, that's it. Rick, what do you think?
We're talking about the same game.
Gold Coast, Richmond.
Mate, I tell you what, Jesus Christ. I didn't get to watch this game, but I did listen to it on the radio. And
okay.
lucky.
Jesus Christ, like the Suns, I gave them a bit of a bake last week, and they responded very, very well.
Now they're top of the ladder.
Matty Rao just absolutely just demolished them with 33.
Didn't bring his
Miller,
down.
He didn't.
Great friend of the pod, Took Miller.
Hey, Took.
We tooked him up all year last year, and he's coming out with the goods. And Ned Flanders as well. Jesus Christ, those three they were solid all day.
Oh, let's not go past.
At one point I really thought this was going to be a 100-point blowout. At one point,
Could have been.
So credit to the Tigers for sort of
Not being smashed by
pegging
that much.
pegging them back in, but geez, 39 points with the biggest drubbing of the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't go past B King. The B stands for better, because he is the better king. All right.
He's the better king, is he?
5 goals, 1. Oh. Come on. Leading the Coleman. Bailey Fritsch, 1 behind him, tied with Kerner.
Yeah. So watch your mouth, mate. Watch your mouth. You throw those words around like they don't mean nothing.
No, they mean something. Of course they mean something. All right. Well, I think that's all we have to say about that. So we'll move on to the next game and the last game of opening round. It was Saturday Night Football at the Giants Stadium. It was Giants 18-6, 114 to Collingwood 11-16, 82 in a drumming that I saw coming. How about you, Reedy?
I saw it coming because I definitely tipped the Giants, thinking that Collingwood aren't going to be up for the fight they were in the granny day last year. I just think that Giants were going to be up for that. So at home as well, it seemed fairly predictable to me.
They had a lot to play for as well, especially from the finals last year where Collingwood knocked them out, which would have the players from GWS would have held that emotion up and wanted to get a good win against the Pies, which they did as well. I was quite surprised as well. Like they were so ferocious at the ball right from the start, right from the get-go. They just gave none of the Collingwood players any respect, and they were just on them all day, which was really good to see. And then it gets to that last quarter, and you're like, oh well, Collingwood's bound to come back here. They were the last quarter specialists last year. They did bugger all. They did nothing. They actually played even worse.
They did bugger all.
They just got bodied by a superior side on the day. But I do think
They still kicked 5 goals. Like, don't get me wrong, GWS only kicked 4 in that last quarter, but like it wasn't enough to stem the flow, really. Like,
Well, 5 goals.
even if GWS didn't even score that last quarter, they still would have won the game. So, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like,
and they kicked 4 goals.
it's not even too little, too late, really, is it?
Yeah, no, look, it was just a very enjoyable. It's always good to see the reigning champs go out, especially opening round. But yeah, I thought this game, because last week on the pod I did say I was tipping Collingwood, but I changed. I had to change it to GWS last minute because I'm just like, it's at home. It's a stinker of a weekend. It's hot. Which team would be more accustomed to these sorts of conditions? I thought GWS. I thought GWS are up there as well on their best day. They have what it takes to take it to Collingwood, and that's exactly what they did. And yeah, I'm very happy with that outcome. It sets things up for things to come. All right, that's it for last week's game. So let's move on to the footy tipping results. Now, everybody, as we already know, Mr. Rick Parker, 0 out of 4 this week. Very sorry. I got 2 out of 4 this week, coming in at 5th, tie 5th. Reeby. Yeah, are you going to talk? Number 1.
Oh, waiting for you to announce
Number 1.
it. Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Reeby.
Top of the ladder.
Top of
was
the
waiting.
ladder.
I thought something was going on there. I was waiting.
No, he just didn't want to announce it, but he,
I wanted him to announce it again. He didn't realise how hurtful it is for me, being the former champ, to relinquish my lead, my
I do
title
know.
of head of the pack.
That's why I'm so excited about being top.
Yeah, you got the bull right level with you. So
You only got 3.
Who's the bull?
4 out of 4.
Who's the bull?
who is the bull?
Who's the bull? I don't know who the bull is. The bull's the bull.
The bull is the bull.
Well,
And
the bull leaves a comment in the chat.
who is tipping from abroad? I can't quite work out who this person is.
Well, let's not analyse all our tipsters, because
I've got a feeling that if they had a slogan on their thing, it would go something like, but I don't, yeah.
Well, would that be Alan?
No.
Did Alan make the cut? I don't even know.
Alan's in there,
Is he?
surely. Isn't he?
What do you mean, surely? You don't pay attention to the chat at all.
No,
No.
no. Is he
No,
not in
he's
the
not.
tips? Was he in last year?
No.
Oh,
no.
wow.
He did some weird thing. Hopefully he's one of the ESPN fans, because there's 4 names that are ESPN fan, bunch of numbers.
Sammy and Mum
Sammy
are 2 of them.
and my mum and my dad. Oh, okay, and your mum. Alright, Scotty did not make it in.
It's a tough life,
We
baby.
wanted to involve him, but hey, it's hard when you got a mate that just doesn't want to be a mate.
He can't quite work out the technology button thingy for how
No,
to
he knows
do
how
tips.
to do it. He has an account. Like, he already has an account.
No, I don't think he has a phone.
No, he has an account. I invited him to the group.
He still has one of those phones that you dial around the
Anyway,
thing.
we don't need
You
to go. No, he doesn't. He knows what he's doing. He's just,
And then you do a 1 and it goes...
Alright, that's. I do remember those phones, they're fun. Alright, well, but yeah, I think it's Steelo Squad also on your heels. And Jim Bob Parker coming in at number 4.
You know who should have got in this tipping comp? Sauce.
Well, no.
He's a good fella, Azza. You
No,
know,
let's
and
move on, let's move
I
on.
rate
What are
his
you talking
tips
about? Yeah,
every
go on.
week. I read Azza's tips and I always put them across what I would do as my tips.
Anyway, let's move on to this week's games.
Good Collingwood man.
Thursday, 14th of March, at the MCG. It is Carlton versus Richmond. Reeby, who you got?
It's been hard not to tip Carlton, isn't it? I mean, you're just looking at Richmond and you're looking at Carlton.
Like,
No, it's hard not to tip Carlton, isn't it?
no, it's hard to tip Richmond on the other side of the coin.
Same statement, reversed. But, yeah, so
Reversed.
Carlton. Reverse.
Well, not really, because you're saying one thing about one club and I'm saying the other thing about the other club. And it is reversed, yes.
Reverse.
It's not the same.
Seam upright. But yeah, so yeah, Carlton for me by, I'm going to say 37 points. I don't think they're going to drub them by 80 or I'm saying silly, but, you know, a solid 37.
Oh, what if they do drum them?
Well, then
We're going to hear a lot of things.
because I look out for
We're
my
gonna hear a lot of
percentage.
things from a lot of
It's all
people.
important percentage
Yeah.
in the tips. So 37 points,
Yeah,
everybody.
large, yeah.
Because it's always under 39, these two teams. They, for the last years, it's just 1 to 39. Richmond was a very staple bet for many a year.
I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Rick, who have you got?
I'm going Carlton
Yeah.
by 28. Actually, no, I might actually change it to Richmond. You know,
Richmond?
Dusty back in,
Yeah.
Big Nankervis back in.
Rick's trying to tip the perfect card of zeros all year.
Yeah, I'm going Richmond.
I like it.
Oh,
It's a bit of a 50-50
Go against the
game.
grain. Go against the grain, mate. You know, Dusty's back in.
He wonders
Yeah,
why
like-
he got 0 last week.
But think about it. Dusty's back.
Dusty's a match winner, mate. You know,
He is.
Nankervis in the
He's
ruck.
got
He's
some
going to
chopsticks
smash
in
it.
his back pocket.
I
Lynch is
said-
going to take clunks.
Last week, I said Dusty's out. He's not playing against the Gold Coast this week, and he's a tip changer. So now that he's back in, I might change my... no, actually, no, I won't. But I see why Rick's tipping Richmond. I see it.
Okay, I don't see it. I don't see that at all. Yeah, well, anyway. Carlton, obviously. And I think they're going to do it pretty comfortably. But my margin's going to be 0.
0. So how does that make sense?
My margin's always 0. I'm the 0 kid.
So you don't do percentage.
Well, I am. My margin. It's
Oh,
not percentage.
right.
It's my margin. My margin is 0.
So like a low. So you're always in it for the low score. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, he always does. He always does 0.
It's by design.
Ah,
Well, I won
true.
last year on my margin.
True. Oh, that's a good tactic.
Fucking Brian.
Yeah, I am going 37, and if I lose the tip, I'm already plus 37.
Because they don't put like a Carlton versus the West Coast, you know, on a Friday night.
No, they typically try and put the better games on there. And also, if it goes the other way and I get the tip wrong, well, I get the shortest margin that way.
Did you just come up with that, or did you learn that by listening or finding out through someone?
What?
Or did you just come up with that tactic yourself?
Yeah, I guess I just started doing it.
No, because then we can call it the Nathan, or the no.
I don't think
We can
it's
call it
that.
something, and it can be your tip. You got a
Yeah,
tip.
well, you can call it
It's a tipper's
something,
tip.
but I don't feel comfortable calling it anything because I don't think it's
Well,
worthy of a name.
Well, it could be the hip.
Could be the hip.
Yeah, it's just the hip.
Well,
The hip tip.
The hipsy.
we'll move on to the second game, seeming we all tipped Carlton, except for Rick. And our next game, Friday Night Football at the G, Collingwood versus Sydney. Can Collingwood bounce back? Really?
Seems surprising, but I'm tipping Sydney. Because that means Collingwood will be 0-2.
Wouldn't that be funny?
Well, I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it because I genuinely think Sydney are going to win.
Oh, really? Because I thought you were doing it out of humour.
No.
Yeah,
I want the
no.
tip.
Come on,
I'm
of
top
course
of the
I want
ladder, mate. Come on.
You want to win that beanie, hat, or shirt at the end of the
No. I just want to tell you at the end of the year that I won. That'll be my main tip.
I don't think you're even going to beat me. I don't think you're going to win, and I don't think you're going to beat me.
Oh.
I don't think I'm going to win, but I think I'm going to beat you.
That's why I'm tipping
I
Sydney.
didn't know me was in the competition.
Me.
When I open up the leaderboard and I check it, me, it's right there. Alright, anyway, Rick, who have you got?
Look, I don't think they can do it 2 weeks in a row. Collingwood.
Okay, fair. I'm going to go out on a limb. Sydney, because I think it might be fun.
That's at the G. Like, yeah, if it was at the SCG, you'd probably say more Sydney, but it's at the MCG.
Nah,
The
I'm
G.
going Collingwood.
Like Collingwood. Like, no one plays. You know, in the last couple of years, no one plays the G better than what Collingwood does. So.
Yeah, exactly, and they're going to be looking to bounce back after last week, and we'll see how it goes. All right, moving on. Saturday, 16th March, Essendon versus Hawthorn at the G again. Reeves.
Gotta love footy at the G. So is that Saturday afternoon?
Saturday afternoon.
Saturday
1:45.
afternoon.
That's
I
gonna be good. I'm gonna be watching that.
was definitely leaning towards tipping Hawthorn. But, I mean,
Can I do it?
yeah. No, I think I'll tip them. So, yeah.
I think they're going to draw a line in the sand,
I'm going to need a big
and
stick.
and they're going to come out with some real aggression. The Hawks.
I think they'll want to
reckon
serve it up.
I reckon the plan that Sammy Mitchell's got going on down there at the moment is is sort of coming into fruition, but it's going to take him a couple of years to build that side down there. But
So you're saying early days they go the box
oh, you know what? Like,
while they're still building.
nothing like back in the day. The proper line in the sand. Like nothing like that. The Campbell Browns versus your Lloydie. Lloydie taking out Sully after the first bounce, or like none of that. We don't condone that anymore in football. But they're going to come out and they're going to play real hard, real fair, and they're going to beat the Bombers by at least 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah, I see it too.
Well, seeing how we've put them on the ladder, yeah, I think we'd all be sort of looking to put Hawthorn over Essendon. But you know what? I have a good friend that goes for Essendon. And I like backing my good friends and their teams, so I'm going to back Essendon. Because
I thought you stopped doing that.
That's it. I stopped doing it for certain people. For certain reasons.
You got sick of giving up tips for no reason.
No, maybe I don't have friends that I think are good enough to go for their team. Maybe that's the case.
True, that's a whole thing.
And also, I did win last year as well. Like, let's remember this.
You're doing it for
It didn't hurt me.
validation.
Like, it actually helped me a bit because no, it hurt me. It would have hurt me. I would have won by more if I wasn't doing that. I'm a fool. Anyway, I'm going for Essendon regardless. All right, Saturday afternoon football at NG Stadium. It is the Giants versus
Stadium.
the North. It says NG Stadium on my thing. Giants versus North. Reeby, who you got?
Giants.
Rick, who you got?
Oh, there's a big sound. There's a big sound.
What downtown?
It comes from the west of the
That's
town.
the mighty Giants. Nah, of course, Giants, mate. At home.
Earth is shaking and the other teams are quaking and the earth
And the
before
birds
the
they
Giants.
I thought we were talking about a technical issue. I don't want another one of them.
It's actually Jai's
We
favourite
take
song
the
at the moment.
widest ride in the longest loops.
No.
Bigger than the
All
rest.
kids seem to just love the Giants
Good.
song.
That's a
But he's still
great song.
he still goes for the Saints and the Doggies. Oh no,
Mate,
Saints
when
and the
they-
Cats.
Why don't you introduce
When they
some Rage
when
Against
they
the
won
Machine?
on the
They're not
weekend, we
very
were dancing around to that song as well. It was quite soothing for young
Do,
guys.
do, 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 do.
Sounds fun. All right, I'm going
Was.
GWS as well because
Sure, Rick had a ball.
I don't know about North yet, but they've got good players that are young. They're coming up, so they're on the come up, just like Hawthorn. So watch this space.
Oh.
All right, moving on. Saturday night football at Jam HBA Stadium. It is Geelong versus
Big
St
one.
Kilda.
Oh, here we go. This is the game of the
Really?
round, they're calling it.
This is the line
Here
in
we
the
go.
sand.
Oh, man, every game's a line in the sand.
That's right. So, who you got?
Oh, well, look. You know, I think after last year's match-up in round 22, or one round 21 or round 22, I'm sure our fans from the Gold Coast will fill us in, that we took it to them and ran them off their feet, and they just had nothing to keep up with our mosquito fleet, and I just feel that it'll be that times two. And, you know, they might as well park the bus at the retirement village before the game and not bother going to the game with the players and then taking them back to the retirement village after.
What a terrible
Just stay there.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, look, either way, we'll show up, and it'd be interesting to see if Geelong show up to their own home ground.
That will be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see. I mean, whispers are they won't show up. Yeah, but
You sound the calorie short.
the Saints will definitely be there on time. We'll run out before the bounce, and yeah.
No power outages.
Nah, we'll just be there ready
No
to
power
play footy.
outages. Yeah.
So, Rick, how much do you think Geelong's going to win by?
I actually reckon they're going to win by about 10 points. I reckon it's going to be a close
I
one.
think it's going to be close. Fair enough. Fair
No,
enough.
I've got the Saints making the 8, and I've got the Cats missing out. So
Well, I have the Cats making the 8, so I'm going to back Cats. I just. There were premiership winners 2 years ago. I know they didn't make the 8 last year, but we'll see. Boss the boss.
We'll see.
Look, I do believe in the Carlton St
We'll
Kilda
see.
grand final. We'll see.
Next year.
Alright, moving on. Next game. Saturday Night Football at the People First Stadium. So it's People First Stadium. Gold Coast versus Adelaide. Reedy.
Well, it's quite upset that this game's on this weekend and not next weekend, since I'll be visiting the regions of
The nether regions.
what is it? The nether regions.
The Nether Regions, yes.
The nether regions. Is that what
Nether Regions, that's what they call it.
the regions? Okay, so yes, I'll be visiting that area.
Yeah.
And there's no game on when I'm there, but there's a game on, and it's a big game in that it's Adelaide taking on the Gold Coast up at the Gold Coast.
This is a big game.
Oh, mate, I'm tipping the Adelaide Crows here.
I'll be watching the other game.
What's the other game?
Geelong St Kilda.
Oh, well, I can't help myself. I'm gonna probably be watching that game, but have probably have my phone on the Gold Coast game. But you still have the scores at the bottom, but it's not enough.
I can have 2 screens going on my computer.
See, I've only got one availability, so I'll run the game through Foxtel, have my phone just there.
Maybe you need a laptop.
No, the phone's great.
Laptop would help.
No, it does enough. But anyway, on to the game. I mean, stop distracting me with how I'm going to watch.
Alright, who you got? Gold Coast Adelaide, go!
Adelaide.
Alright, Rick.
Gold Coast at home for me.
Yeah, Gold Coast at home for
If
me as well.
it was in Adelaide, I'd probably say Adelaide. But no, I like the cut of Gold Coast's jib.
The jib's pretty good.
It's a good cut.
Watching Dimmer and the end of the game on the Channel 7 broadcast there, talking with I think he was talking with Lynchy and
Jono.
And what's his name? The better Rewalt.
Nick.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah. And he absolutely rated a few of those players very, very highly, and I can see little glimpses of what he was trying to do with Tom Lynch down at Richmond, with what he's doing with the King at the moment up there at the Gold Coast. So I'm going to tip Gold Coast, and I reckon they'll probably do it comfortably.
Yep, fair enough. Gold Coast comfortably as well.
Good samosas.
I have Gold Coast shooting a bit higher this year than last year, so we'll see how they go. Alright, next game, Sunday football at the J. Melbourne versus Doggies. Reeby, who you got?
Doggies for me.
Yeah. Melbourne's disrespect continues.
I'm quite surprised by that.
Well, I mean,
everybody's been disrespecting Melbourne lately. That doesn't surprise me.
if
I'm
a
quite
good
surprised like that, because all last year he was quick to shoot the Dogs down. It was like a role reversal, because the first year we started this pod, I promised everyone I wasn't going to tip the Saints, and I stuck to my word. I didn't tip them all year, and it shot me in the foot.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then you started doing it with the Dogs last year. You started tipping against us every game.
and how did you finish off
He didn't
last
do
year?
too well either, did he?
How did the Dogs finish off last year? Just a reminder for all the listeners.
Oh, we just missed out on the 8 by a point.
Yeah, didn't you finish higher than Saints?
No,
Did we?
no, we made the 8. But I'm just saying,
What?
your season finished
No,
with
you
a
didn't.
fizzler, and you were losing games left, right, and centre. You lost to West Coast. You lost to bloody. So yeah, you lost to Hawthorn. You had that little patch where at the end of the year, and I just felt like that summed up where I felt like yous are at. But this year, I just reckon yous will be. I reckon yous will be right there back to fire this year. You'll be, not too bad. So I'm happy to tip yous early. As much as I'd love to tip my good friend Nathan's Demons, but I just think the Dogs are going to be hungry early here, and they're really going to. They're just going to push yous over. They're going to just go push.
It's the D's respect that I come to expect from this podcast and my so-called friends.
Oh, look at that. Giving him the bird, and
I
you
tipped
can't even
Melbourne
see it.
last week, mate.
No, I know, I burned you, I'm sorry. Alright, Rick, who have you got?
I'm definitely not tipping Melbourne this game.
Okay.
It's I reckon it'll be a good game. I don't reckon it will be a blowout either way, but just keep your eye out for young Sanders and watch what he does.
Oh, I'm hungry already. Go the Colonel.
Mate, and all reports coming out of the Whitten Oval is that this young kid is ready built and is ready to smash out some time in the midfield and up for half forward. So you can kick a few goals and also tear them apart in the middle with the likes of Bond, Liberatore. Like when you're keeping Jack McRae out of the side, you're doing something right. And Jackson McRae gets 30 possession plus game player. So watch out for him. Dogs I reckon by about 20.
Oh, do you now? Well, that'd be different because I don't think you've beaten Melbourne by 20 points or more since 2021. But hey, you could turn that round.
It's only 3 years ago.
Mate, it's 2024, buddy.
Yeah, no.
You got bloody
You've had a lot of losses since then.
Redhead who's bloody causing trouble throughout your club.
Our last meeting, we thumped you by 50 points.
Yeah.
What's so different now?
Pumped us by
What's
50
so different
points.
now?
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Hey, you
No,
two,
what's so
come on,
different now?
break it up.
What's so
Break it
different
up.
now?
Your teams are playing each other this week, I know, but just come on, just relax. That's why we haven't got you in the same room
That's why we're not
tonight.
in the same room, Rick.
We're just
Lucky I'm not in that studio, mate.
next week.
Alright, well, I'm back in Melbourne. I don't see us losing the doggies of all teams, like, really. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll have one of us will have bragging rights next week, Rick, and one of us won't be on the pod, I assume.
Well, I potentially won't be on the pod either. So
you won't be on the pod.
well, I might.
Oh, we have to be on the pod then, Rick.
We might have wheels on the pod
We
next
might
week.
have wheels on the
Oh.
pod next week. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. See how that goes.
If we don't have technical issues.
I'm not liking the chances. But anyway, let's move on. Next game, Port Adelaide versus West Coast over at Adelaide Oval on Sunday afternoon football. Reedy.
It's been hard not to lean
Open
towards
and shut. Come on.
Port.
Gotta say Port.
What happened to your system? Don't you have a system? When West Coast go over to Adelaide, they win, and then when Port go over to, what happened to that? Does that system just get thrown out, or?
Yeah, it does. It does.
When you're on top of the leaderboard, you like to tighten up your systems a little.
Yeah.
Um,
Gotta tweak 'em.
So
You
at
don't think
this
Harley Reid
stage,
going to come out and just tear Port a new arsehole?
I would like to see it. I really would. Can we get some odds on that game, Nathan?
Yeah, West Coast are paying $9.20.
Really? And what a Port?
$1.06.
Really?
$1.06.
Jesus, $9.20.
Yeah.
That's got to be worth $10, doesn't it? Just to win $90 if they happen to win.
Yes.
Holy potatoes, $9.20. That's actually.
Holy potatoes.
Well,
Exactly.
I mean, Jesus.
No, Jesus.
No, I
Holy
mean,
potatoes.
what's Sammy
Alright,
doing
let's
sitting
move it
there? I
on,
mean,
mate. Let's.
Well,
What's
no,
what?
They can't see it. So yeah, who you got?
Me.
Yeah.
Port.
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 Alright, Brisbane.
Port.
Fremantle versus Brisbane
Oh,
at
Brisbane.
Optus Stadium.
it's a good game, isn't it?
Rick, you jumped the gun. Raby, who you got?
Brisbane.
Don't care.
Alright, Brisbane.
I was trying to juice it up a bit. My only disclaimer to go with this game is
Mate, I've got Freo finishing dead last, so
Brisbane-
they're not going to beat the team that just went into the grand final.
let's call it Brisbane 1-39. It's just because I don't see them smashing them again. I think Freo will hang around and play in the game for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Brizzy 1-39 is a little.
A little thingo. What are you doing? Winking?
No, that wasn't a wink. I was just saying Freo
Are you-
Brisbane.
Oh,
Brisbane
and that
1
was
to
all
39.
brought to you by our new sponsors of the pod, Old El Paso.
Oh, speaking of dinner.
Yeah, stand and stuff.
Shit,
Good
yeah.
old stand and stuff.
Stand and stuff, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
No. Oh, yum. I would love a taco for dinner, Rick.
Well, have
Thank
you
you.
ordered the tacos?
I've ordered some tacos, but they're going to my
Nachos?
door.
Oh, you fucked me. Alright.
Yeah. I know, I realised. So now I'm not changing
nachos
it.
for dinner. I'm like,
Nah.
sweet, I
No
got dinner
Taco
sorted.
Tuesday for you,
And
mate.
now he's just fucking off. Alright, well.
No.
I see
I'll
how it
discuss
is.
this after we're finished.
I'll see how it is. It's fine.
Kick him out. Get him out of here.
I'm having
I may
major.
do. I may do.
How disrespectful.
I'm having a tough technology day. Let's put it that way.
Alright. Let's move on to
Let's-
sports bet of the week. And while we move on to this, I want to go through my bet last week. They got fucked on. Oh, because Ben Ainsworth couldn't touch the ball 15 times. He just needed 2 more touches. You'd be looking at a millionaire. Well, I'd be $95 up, but still.
95 would still be good.
Still, disappointed. Every other leg hit. Brilliant prediction for that whole thing, and then nah. Ben Ainsworth couldn't get 15 possessions. Motherfucker. Anyway, Raby, do you have your sports bet of the week?
I have it here in front of me.
Go.
So I have been doing some interesting research during the week because I figured
Here we go.
the punters like value and they don't like, dribbling around and winning.
Winning. They don't like winning.
No, they don't like winning. They like value. Value is where it's at. So the easiest way I've seen to break it all down is just to go through the whole round and pretty much pick your head to head through the whole thing. With Sydney at the line being the only difference for me. So I got Carlton head to head, Sydney at the line, Hawks head to head, Giants head to head, St Kilda paying $2.60 against Geelong. Woohoo! Where's that for value? Adelaide head to head, $2.13 against the Gold Coast. Again, great value. The Dogs $2.25 head to head against Melbourne. So I'm loving this, rolling with my tips. Obviously Port Adelaide, and then in the last game, don't forget to change your leg to Brisbane 1-39, not just head to head, and that gives you.
139.
It's my hot tip of the week. Remember,
Yeah.
brought to you by Sportsbet. So 171 to 1 we have. For some reason, I've got 9 legs in there. Carlton.
Well, he's done something wrong.
Yes, I'll work it out in one sec. But
Rick.
yes,
Your sports bet of the week.
Mate, I've just gone potential winners for this week. So I've gone Carlton, Sydney, Hawks, GWS, Geelong, Gold Coast, Dogs, Port, and Brisbane, all to win. Our good mates at Sportsbet, they've given me odds of $73.73 for that to come to fruition. So, look, you chuck a sneaky 10 on that, that's 700.
Mm.
Oh, well, let's get that 700 in the pot.
700 straight in your skyrocket. So, lovely doubly.
Well, I've
Happy
got
betting.
that down
Bet
as
responsibly
well.
as well.
Absolutely.
I have a bet down as well. I've got so this is a single game same game multi for Carlton versus Richmond Thursday night football. I'm getting pumped for that. So Carlton 25 plus, Curnow to kick 2 or more, Dusty to kick a goal, Cripps to kick a goal. Total game points to be over 163 points, and the first half to be the highest scoring.
Yeah.
And put $5 on that, paying $20.25. I'm gonna get $101. Gonna throw that into the kiddie pool.
What is the first half to be
Indeed.
highest scoring pay?
It's like $2 or something.
$2. Well, that's good value for that because the second half traditionally is high scoring, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on the game.
Yeah, it
Depends on
can
the
be
game.
though. It's yeah.
Like, it is roughly even.
Sometimes you get a good score and then the teams hold it back for the second half. But
Exactly.
I don't think that's going to be in the norm in the next year or two though. Maybe the reverse one of that would get up a lot.
Maybe. Well, let's move on to closing thoughts. Daniel, do you have something for us this week?
I don't traditionally carry closing thoughts, I just don't ever like the pod to end, I just like to sit here and ramble along, but Well, I suppose I should give you a little story from today. I don't have to tap back very far. It just popped into my head when you said closing thoughts.
Oh yeah, well it is your closing thoughts, so whatever you think.
To all the people out in the Wandong area, just to look out for underlay on the road.
Oh no.
It can be known like kangaroo sort of impact when you impact a full roll of underlay, like with the wrapper on and everything.
I feel like you're admitting to a crime live on the podcast.
No names will be dropped. No names will be dropped, but fellow work colleagues that work with me on a regular basis may or may not have
Why would you throw Fabs under the bus like that?
relocated a roll of underlay today on the just off the Hume Freeway, just down towards somewhere, but then also had to trek back to recover said roll of underlay, but on the way couldn't find this potential maybe did or did not drop this roll. I'm not saying he did.
Maybe he didn't.
So because he couldn't find it, he then had to find a local carpet layer or carpet shop to get a butt of underlay from. So he finally contacted someone, a lovely Indian fella who said his wife was at home, and he went around to their place and purchased a half a roll of underlay for $50. He then proceeded...
So what has this got to do with your final thought?
Well, it's just I was just recapping the day.
Don't recap it all.
So then this said worker then proceeded to drive back to meet me back at the job upon finding the roll of underlay on the side of the road. And so he then ended up with 2 rolls of underlay, which one he had to go and buy. It was a good escapade for one Mr. Someone who I can't name.
Alright, that was a great story, Daniel. It was great.
Yeah.
Awesome, lovely.
Yeah, it was a funny day.
Funny day. Mr. Rick Parker, do you have some closing thoughts?
Yeah, mate. So it's all happening again this year down at home of football, down at Widdock Crescent, home of footy, Kangas. It's all happening. Some big new faces down at the club. Really exciting. We got we have a practice match this Saturday against Masala, some team in Dandenong.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm pretty sure they're an amateur side. So should be a good test to see where we're at for the year. And then look, mate, there's probably nothing else more for me.
You look like you got your hands full there.
Yeah, you don't want to show off your little baby boy? Little baby Parker?
Mate, look, I've been handed off a baby.
Looks like a football.
Yeah, he's just sitting here asleep, mate. So no need to bring him up into any attention because the more he can stay asleep,
You're
I'll
not
actually
fair.
hand him off.
Well, he can't hear us, thankfully. So.
Yeah,
I got Surfing Sammy here.
On location.
So,
Tyson
There
gets
we
his
go.
first go on the pod.
there you go.
She can't hear us at all.
He's had a good look.
There's baby Tyson.
So yeah, nothing really too much for the weekend.
Fair enough. Alright, well, let's move on to my closing thoughts then. Went and saw June, Chapter 2 last weekend. Fucking amazing film. Cinema's back. Go do it.
June?
Did you say June or June as in like D-U-N-E?
I emphasised the D when I said June.
Oh, it just on my end it
June.
sounded like you said June.
Yeah, lots of people make
Yeah,
this joke.
like-
It's not fun.
April, May, June.
Yeah, no, I get what you're doing. But no, June. With a D. June. And yeah, it's amazing. Everybody should go see it. It's phenomenal. I can't believe how good it is. We're still getting movies of high quality out there. If you haven't been happy with Hollywood lately, fuck, go out and watch that movie. Might change your tune. And yeah,
Might change your June.
No, absolutely not, Parker.
Might change your June.
But yeah,
All
other than
these
that-
dad jokes seem to come out now.
yeah, okay, well, I hear them all over the place. But also, I'll be hell diving this weekend with a good friend of the pod, streamer NoBotE.
Good mate, no bot.
Did some hell diving with him last weekend over on his YouTube channel. You can go check it out. Or you can catch us live this Saturday afternoon/night. We'll be spreading democracy and we'll be kicking ass. So Yeah.
You bloody beauty.
All right, now with that, I think we'll say goodbye, and that's it from us at All Footy, and we're